In the last hour, I tested and revised Watershed Explorers environmental issues version. Initially, I just wanted to check if all the things were connected, but then as I noticed that there were some things missing or some mini issues, I started taking notes, and I also categorized them in levels of priority. This one here I needed to fix right away, otherwise I wouldn't be able to close the dialog box and continue. That's why I already solved it. And at the end, I also put the solutions for the things that I already know what the solutions might be. And then after, I decided to record this video to show uh, how I keep track of my work in order not to be lost and forget. And also, like, you can see that today is August 15th. Yesterday I had a work session. I had an accident, and then I took notes and I brainstormed possible solutions and I fixed the problem, taking notes. August 2nd, 12th, I also had one. And that's how I see whether I have done things or haven't yet, and what should I should be doing next. Uh, like, since we're humans, it's very hard to rely only on our memory. Uh, and there's also lots of distractions in the computer and stuff. So I guess I still have missed some of them. So I'm gonna play test again, by and making sure that I check, uh, I confirm that these issues have been listed and the ones that haven't. So since I played and I know that it's working from beginning to end, I'm gonna be on maximizing on play so you can have a better view of the playthrough. And I'm testing Watershed Explorers environmental version, so I'm going to start with the game menu. I just realized that the dialog box is the old one, the very first one, but this is not a priority now. So I'm just going to list in the nice to have. And this is a very low priority. So the color is light blue. In this one, I have a shortcut. If I click on mirror, I can submit. So let's go. The sound is working. I'm not, and it's kind of high. I didn't put the sound here because not everything has sounds. There are some sounds that are super high, and I already listed that to address. The volume is working here. That's good. Subtitles also working. There's an issue here. So there's a this script transition timer is still missing an object, so we can take a look at that. And I like to take snapshots like this. Oops, there's more issues with the audio, but it's a yellow alert. So I like to take snapshots like this because it's only one here, I know it's not an update issue that updates all frames. This is the flyby environment. I'm gonna clear so I can see others that come up. If I click here watch again, I should be watching again. If I click keep going, I'm gonna go to the Francis Walter one. So let's see if watch again is it's working. Now I don't want to watch it again, and I have a invisible shortcut. If I click here, it loads the next scene. This loading alerts is an alert that Unity has given because it says it's not supported anymore. So far it's supported, it's working, so it's fine. It's a yellow, so I'm not going to be addressing that. This is already an issue that I in Francis Walter 1. Mira's titles is centered instead of right aligned, so I need to fix that. There is no other issue listed here, but let's just see. One issue that I found, and I listed as a general issue, the progress log here, the journal log is not opening. Like we are in Francis Walter 1 and it should open here. We don't have anything here. And it doesn't open either for any of the following scenes that we visit. So that's an issue. Another thing that I just realized that in the mini version, we don't have Walnut Port, Cement, and Thomas Iron. So we can deactivate these buttons here. So I'm gonna list here. This is a very low priority. Deactivate buttons for. Another issue that I found, and I guess I listed here, yeah, as a nice to have, but I think this is very annoying. I'm going to be moving these panels, the sub panels, a little down so it doesn't clash with the top banners. So it's going to be a little closer to the location panel in the bottom part. Uh, and this happens everywhere. So I guess I'm going to do it like this here. It's a low priority, so green. It also works in the gallery, so not working in the gallery, the same issue, only the watershed one is allowed, open. This is gonna be dealt with in a second video, in another video. Let's continue here. English, Spanish. So the banners don't have Spanish translation yet. I'm gonna take notes of that. I didn't remember. So home screen banners Spanish versions. It's gonna be nice to address in another video because then I can show how to implement the translation system that we have in the Watershed Explorers. Going back to English, the location panel works, chat log works, progress panel works, everything is fine. Moving to Francis 2 environment. So the interactive clicking highlighted word system is working. We can either close by clicking here in this X button of the pop-up or in the continue or close button. So here it's working, but I already know that this is not working in many scenes, so it's already listed. This is an issue. It's listed as well. Corner HUD is in front and interactable on top view screen. The solution is to move it down in the hierarchy. It needs to be below the corner HUD. So I'm going to address this right now. It's in Francis 2 environment. Screen space canvas. Corner HUD needs to be moved down in the hierarchy. It needs to be below, no, top view needs to be below corner HUD. So if we play now, we don't have that issue anymore. So it was fixed. So we have a low priority and a very low priority here. This one with the video is a very low priority because I'm thinking about uh, making an upgrade in the design uh, to align with the use of the tablet interface from the beginning and the ending scene in the museum, and also because the tablet interface is a good thing to use as skeuomorphism, in which we are giving the users a familiar interface for them to interact with. So it's not just like things popping up in front of their faces. They will be seeing this inside of uh, a tablet, so it feels more familiar for their experience. Oops. So that's the very low priority issue, but and it's a green, that's fine. A real issue that we have here is the volume, the sound, and I forgot to uh, add that. So I'm gonna put as yellow, which is middle priority, because I've gotten this feedback from users in testing sessions. It's not red or orange yet because it's not impeding the flow of the game from the beginning to end, and I'm addressing issues that are not like that, like personalization or customization or aesthetics. For example, here we have a real issue, which is this blue one here, and this is not low priority at all. This is an orange one, a middle to high priority, because it doesn't the game doesn't work as expected. For instance, we don't know the answer here. We want to return. We cannot click the buttons here to open the progress and see the help or the things that we collected. So this is an issue. That's why I'm labeling as a middle to high priority. I can only go back and answer the question. So Rockport 1, I had an issue here that is similar to the one I fixed before, but I just realized there is another issue here, which is this one. So I'm going to copy and paste. It should be right aligned. Well, this is not an issue here. Okay, so maybe I copied and pasted wrongly. One less issue to solve. Okay, the issue that I have here is that the balloon was not disabled. Just checking if the other issues are still happening. We are in rock part 2 now. The center title is an issue here. This is working well. Let's see if the continue closes it. It does, so it's not an issue. We don't have this because we don't have a top view photo in rock part 2. That's why I told you in the beginning of the video that it's important to review twice because it's a lot of information, a lot of details, and relying on our memory, it's not safe anymore. It's a lot of information. So you do your best in the first time around, and then with your own notes and organization, you review again just to make sure that that is correct. And then you can start debugging and fixing the issues because then you know everything that needed to be done was done. For example, in this scene, if we return, we can open the panel here to get information. We can open the conversation log to see what the avatar told us in that scene. So it's working well. We can even change the language to Spanish or English if we want in the middle of the question. That's the thing I identified that in Francis too, it's not working. So this is an issue, a very big one. That's why it's in orange. Just realized that FG transition scenes should have a volume control. Now we are in Lehigh Gap number one. It doesn't seem to have any issues, but it does. Miras is in the center. Oops, I'll have to play it again. I didn't test correctly. I don't remember if I had changed, but the changes I made was in Francis 2, and this is Francis 2, so I'm gonna save. Test again. Wait. Oh, yeah, I opened Lehigh Gap. Okay, it's fine. What I need to test is if the continue button closes the pop-up. It doesn't. The close button does, but the continue doesn't. Now Lehigh Gap 3. There is this issue. The glossary pop-up is in the wrong position, clashing with the dialog box. I'm gonna check if the continue button closes it. It doesn't. So the continue button doesn't close the pop-up. And the Mira's title is centralized, so it's also wrong. I'll close this video now because I did about 50%, and I'll continue in another video.